Hello, hello. Chyba udało się wystartować. Może zaraz grę nawet uda się odpalić. Zobaczymy. Nie było. Streamu dawno nie odpalałem, więc może coś tutaj nie. Chyba jest ok. Wygląda na to, że wszystko nadal działa. Nie wiem, czy wiele z gry już pamiętam. Ale dzienniczek pomoże. Coś się może dogrzebiemy. No, jeszcze tylko tutaj mały test u siebie zrobię. No okej. Chyba wszystko gra. Okej. Gamma podkręcona, żeby nie było problemów. No dobrze. Zacznę od przejrzenia dziennika, żeby zorientować się, na czym tam stanęło. Może zacznę od początku. Ach, to przewijanie. Cóż, to musiało robić wrażenie, gdy gra się ukazała i było bardzo ciekawe i nowatorskie. Ale trochę za dużo tutaj mamy już powykreślanych stron, przez które musimy przewijać, niestety. A więc mamy kilka spraw. Sprawa Mandiego, sprawa Termy, Uberwaldów, Sapphire. No, w sumie wiąże się to z Termą, tak? Więc nie wiem. No i miecz, który wiąże się z Mandim. A wszystko i tak się wiąże ze sobą, bo okazuje się, że pasują sprawy do siebie. Zaraz zobaczymy, co tu jest grane. Czyli tak, no Azrael, nie wiem czemu to zostało właściwie, czemu nie zostało wykreślone, bo już rozumiem, że interpretowaliśmy to jako ten numer, tak?
On the wall of Mundy's room, someone had written the word Azil in blood. I didn't know.
Azil. No i mamy numer.
I'd realized that Mundy had been hung upside down before he was killed, and that the message that seemed to say Azil might actually read 3712V. But I didn't know what it meant.
No dobrze, trzeba zapytać kogoś, kto znał Mandiego, czy kojarzą mu się z czymś te liczby. Chyba jeszcze nie zinterpretowaliśmy tego, nie? To nie był żaden numer skrytki. Magazyn to gdzie indziej były numery ich.
I'd learned that Mundy had been hung upside down by his legs before he was killed.
Nie wiem czemu tu też została nam notka, widać będzie do czegoś potrzebne. Charlotta to oczywiście jest nasza zleceniodawczyni.
Beautiful, seductive, and dangerous. Carlotta was worth a stare. She was trouble.
Którą podejrzewamy o zabójstwo Mandiego i wrobienie nas.
The big troll had come up to me out of nowhere and asked me to find Therma. He certainly wasn't the brightest troll I'd met.
Na razie nie udało mi się Termy znaleźć.
I'd learned that Ilsa was in town and traveling with a man named Two Conkers.
Widziałem ich w kasynie, ale potem gdzieś zniknęli znowu.
The dwarf had tried to threaten me off the Mundy case. I knew right from the start that he knew more than he was telling me.
Krasnolud w końcu zaprowadził nas do... Nie wiem, czy tu wymienionego bossa. Zaraz zobaczymy, może dojedziemy.
Vimes had mentioned the counterweight killings to me back in Mundy's room. Apparently there had been a string of weird ritualistic murders in the city. I'd learned that Mundy had been hung upside down by his leg. I'd found Reagan's body in his carriage in the river under the Magdalen Bridge.
Tak, szofera barona, czy tam hrabiego udało się znaleźć. To Malachit znowu. Tu tu Regni znowu. No, powtarzają się. O właśnie, Jasper Horst.
An associate of Al-Khali's, whatever that means, Horst was a troll who was large on stature and fond of long, rambling sentences that rarely got to the point. I didn't trust him for a second.
On chce miecz. Uważa, że mamy miecz jakiś. Zaraz będzie o mieczu.
Sapphire had done it. I had a meeting with the mysterious Therma.
Okej.
Vimes had mentioned the counterweight killings to me back in Mundy's room. Apparently, Horst had spoken of a golden sword, and it was apparent that he thought I had it.
To, o czym mówiłem. Co jeszcze?
Horst had spoken.
Okej.
There was a chance that the golden sword was somewhere amongst the Milka's cargo. The question was, where was the Milka's cargo now?
No i koniec. Tak się jeszcze zastanawiam, czy tu jakieś powinniśmy przeprowadzać łączenie śladów klikaniem w notatniczku, bo tego chyba jeszcze nie robiliśmy. Czy da się tak zrobić? Przetestuję na czymś najbardziej oczywistym. Czyli jeszcze nie tutaj. O, klik. Nie, to chyba nie służy do... O, w ogóle.
I realized that Mundy had been... I had to try and waste... I'd realized that Mundy had been...
Klik.
What had Mundy been trying to write?
O nie, to chyba nie służy do tego. Okej. No dobra. Jeszcze jedną rzecz może. To mamy tutaj u siebie. Nie pamiętam, co to było, skąd to? A, to znalezione było w kopercie, tak? Bo włamaliśmy się gdzieś, znaczy nie włamaliśmy się, mieliśmy klucz, tak? Od szofera. Gdzieś w kasynie była...
The envelope had come from Reagan's safety deposit
No
box,
właśnie.
and I had a feeling that it was important somehow. The thing was, it seemed to be empty.
Pusta koperta.
I don't know why Reagan kept a charm bracelet in his safety deposit box, but I guess he wanted to keep it safe. The only time I saw Mundy, he was playing with this coin. A metallic flat disc with a square hole in the center. The coin had markings on one side that I couldn't read. It wasn't from any nation I'd ever heard of. A beautiful glittering diamond. I tried not to think that I had pulled it out of a dead troll's corpse. More importantly, I tried not to think about the fact that I stole it from the Salaci family mausoleum.
Aha. Tam mamy spotkać się z Termą, jak rozumiem. No dobra, chyba to trzeba zrobić zatem.
I decided to go on alone to meet with Therma, but when I reached the rooftop, she wasn't there. As I waited, I started to think about the situation, and the more I did, the more I decided that I ought to go and get Malachite. Frankly, hooking him up with Therma was probably the only way to get him off my back. Maybe it'd help me get some answers out of Therma, too.
Okej. Dobrze. Jest rozsądniejszy ode mnie, albo po prostu lepiej pamięta. zależności, a zatem niech będzie. Skoro mamy spotkanie z termą, to zabieramy ze sobą malachita. Może to zamknie nam jeden wątek. Kolego?
I'm back.
Idziemy. Teraz przeklikam się tylko przez ten dzienniczek i zabieram się. O.
It's not been easy, but I've arranged a meeting with Therma.
Take me there. Take me to Therma.
In a moment. First, there's a couple of things we need to discuss.
Take me to Therma. Take me now.
Okay. Let's go. The rooftops above Salis and Fedra were quiet. No one had a reason to be up here. I was looking forward to meeting the mysterious Therma, and I was hoping I might get some answers out of her. Unfortunately, the last thing I remembered was looking up at the moon. The next thing I knew, I was being arrested by the Watch. They told me Malachite was as dead as two sides of bacon, and I was the prime suspect. His back had been chipped away like he'd said something particularly insulting to a disgruntled quarry workman, and they seemed to think my crowbar was the murder weapon. I had the opportunity and a possible murder weapon. All they were missing was motive. And anyone who had ever tried to get an intelligent comment out of the troll had a motive to kill him. It looked like I'd been stitched up as nicely as a fine genuine tapestry. They took me to Pseudopolis Yard to be interrogated. They had a salamander lamp shining in my eyes, so I couldn't see what was going on, but I could hear Nobby and a troll talking in the darkness. It was probably Detritus, the first troll to join the Watch. Detritus was the troll many people in Ankh-Morpork thought of when they heard the word troll, bringing back as it does vague memories of sudden concussion and extreme pain. Sometimes you'd hear two short planks being described as thick as detritus. Your ideal street cop, in fact.
So I'm a good cop.
No, I'm the good cop. You're the bad cop.
Then, why don't I get to prod him a bit with my fists?
Because we're supposed to get information out of him, and it's hard to understand people talking through a mouthful of loose teeth.
I can smash lightly, more like a gentle caress, right?
No punching.
I can kick using minimal acceptable force. Like Mr. Vimes says, lots of it.
No punching, no kicking. We just talk to him.
Talk?
Right, well, I'll talk. You shout.
All right, you done it. Own up now, we know it was you.
No, not yet.
Oh, all right.
I've just got to start the audiograph.
Right. All right, you done it now. You got to sing like one of them flappy twittery things.
Wait! I've got to start the recording properly, otherwise it doesn't count. Right. Interviewing suspect Luton. Present, Corporal Nobbs and Sergeant Detritus.
Now?
Now.
All right, you done it. You might as well make it easy on yourself. Everyone know it was you.
This is my interrogation, is it?
Don't you change the subject, you miserable excuse for our horse's donkey.
Just tell us what happened, Luton.
Here the facts. Fact. Mundy was killed. You found at the murder scene.
I was unconscious.
How you knowing you was unconscious if you was unconscious, eh? Foiled you with logic. Now you listen to me good, and then we see who wears the long two-legged garments. Fact. Escape thingy, Mount Malachite.
Thingy? You mean troll?
Nah, not escape troll. Escaped,
Feline. Escaped feline? Yeah, he escaped from a holding cell. Is it possible the word we're looking for here is felon? That's the one. What did he do?
Hey, we asked the questions, you miserable arugaraha. You know what arugaraha mean?
He knocked over the Van Uberwald mansion. I never knocked over the Von Uberwald mansion. Now, that's what Malachite did. So what does arugraha mean?
In the precise moment that dog droppings turn white.
I think you'd better get back to being the bad cop.
I am the good cop.
Now, I'm the good cop.
So that make me...
The bad cop.
So how come I not get to hit you then?
We can't beat him up, detritus. That'd be police brutality.
It only brutality if you leave marks. What show? Escape thingy, Mount Malachite, was killed, and you was found at the murder scene there too.
Once again, I was unconscious.
Oh, how convenient for you. 2 murders and 2 unconsciousnesses. What about the murder weapon, eh? What about the crowbar?
Tell us where you got the crowbar, and I'll give you a smoke. One of your dog ends? No, thanks. I'll get you coffee. Maybe some cherry cake. New suit. You get to choose the color. I think you're taking this good cop role too seriously.
Thank you. Now my turn. You want to fall down the steps to the cell without leaving your chair? It's fine by me.
No dobrze. Mieliśmy trochę przesłuchania i wpadliśmy, tak jak można było przypuszczać, w kolejne tarapaty, choć nie wiedziałem, że akurat tak się skończy. No ale okej, wszystko pasuje do siebie, tak? Poprzednia nasza tutaj wizyta zakończyła się oczywiście prawie aresztowaniem. Tutaj znowu to mamy. No zobaczymy, czy też nas wypuszczą, ale chyba poklikamy trochę po tych dialogach najpierw. Nie wiem, czy będzie miało to znaczenie. Spróbujemy.
I'm not guilty, and I refuse to feed your suspicions and paranoia by consenting to this charade. I thought charades were a game, like chase my neighbor up the passage. No, you need a pack of cards for chase my neighbor up the passage. Not where I come from.
We're trying to do you a favor. We could give you to the Lawyers Guild.
You don't want that, Luton. They'd eat you alive. You don't have anywhere near enough money to be innocent. Haven't you got better things to do than harass me?
We harass you 'cause you is guilty. We knows you done it.
That's enough, detritus.
Sir?
You can go.
I did it right?
Let's say you were everything I expected. Now go and write up the report. Not in crayon this time, please.
That should keep him busy for a few days.
He may be slow, but he's not an untrustworthy killer like you.
Why the personal interest in this case, Vimes? I'm sure you've got more important things to do now you're commander of the watch.
My reasons are my own.
You're not interested in my guilt or innocence. You're just out to nail me.
Frankly, Luton, I've got all the evidence of your guilt I need, and if I get my way, they'll lock you up and melt down the key for scrap iron. You're a bad cop, and I don't have any time for you.
If you're so convinced of my guilt, why the interrogation?
Nobby has this deranged idea that there might be some extenuating circumstances that we ought to find out about.
It'd make everything a lot easier if you'd confess, Luton. I'm sure you had a good reason to do what you did. Let us help you. Cigarette? Holiday for 2 in Quirm, sea-facing room, we pay the minibar bill? I'm not guilty, and I'm not confessing to a crime I didn't commit.
Listen to me, Luton. We're conducting this interrogation because I believe in upholding the law.
There is no law in Ankh-Morpork.
True enough, but there's my law, and there's the patrician's law. Which would you rather face?
What's the difference?
Lord Veterinary considers it a happy state of affairs if the punishment can involve the actual perpetrator, but sees it as by no means essential. I consider it to be absolutely essential.
But you've already decided that I'm guilty.
That doesn't mean I've proved it.
And if I prove my innocence?
That's not going to happen.
Then what's the point of this farce?
Smoke?
No.
The thing is, Luton, we just want to find out what happened.
Do one decent thing in your life, Luton. Help us close this case.
Why should I?
So we can close this sorry little act and concentrate on the threat to the city.
The threat.
The counterweight killings.
Okay.
Doesn't it make more sense that both Mundy and Malachite were killed by this so-called counterweight killer?
That's what you'd like us to believe, isn't it? You make the murders look like the counterweight killings and hope to get away with it.
That's it, isn't it? You're not interested in me. You want to catch the counterweight killer.
You're just a low-life killer, Luton. My job is to protect citizens from people like you.
What? You don't even like them much. You think they're all criminals.
Maybe. But murder leaves the place too messy.
Look, Luton, we don't think you're involved with the counterweight killings. But we have to know which ones are which if we're going to stop him from killing again. This is your chance to be a hero. To help us to catch a foreign assassin.
A hero? There's nothing I can do to save myself. Why should I care about the rest of the city?
You were a good man once, Luton. This could be your one shot at redemption.
I was never that good a shot.
You ought to know, Luton, that you're a suspect in the counterweight killings. That crowbar of yours was palace property, which means you had access to at least one of the murder sites.
You're getting desperate, aren't you?
We're wasting our time with you.
What about Reagan?
The dead dwarf? What about him?
Another murder in suspicious, almost ritualistic circumstances. He's a nobody, but it has all the hallmarks of a counterweight killing.
Are you confessing to the murder of Reagan?
No. I'm just saying that Mundy and Malachite aren't the only nobodies to get bumped off in mysterious circumstances.
There was nothing mysterious about Reagan's death.
W sumie racja.
People don't just drive carriages off a bridge for no reason.
He was driving recklessly across the city. It's probably just a suicide. Maybe he was just drunk.
What about the bite marks?
Bite marks?
There weren't any bite marks. I looked.
Reagan was murdered. I'm sure of it.
You've got bigger problems than that right now, Luton. I suggest you concentrate on them.
Surely you have other suspects for the murders I'm accused of, even if you don't think they're part of the counterweight killings.
Smoke? A set of the complete plays of Hwel the Dwarf bound in nearly real leather?
No, I don't want a smoke. I want to know who the other suspects are.
At the moment, you're top of our list.
Although you are the bottom of our list, too.
I am the list, aren't I?
Sorry.
Don't apologize, Nobby. Listen, Luton. There are other suspects for the counterweight killings, and we're investigating those. But for Mundy and the Troll, you're the bottom line.
Okej, nie wiem do czego to doprowadzi, ale próbujmy. Nie mamy zbyt wielu opcji, nie mamy swojego dzienniczka, nie mamy przedmiotów, no ale tam nie było chyba nic takiego wskazującego na cokolwiek. No więc spróbujemy jechać.
What about Al-Khali,
Al-Khali?
one of Horst's cronies? I think he's been following me.
I guess I could interview him.
Why do I have a feeling that you won't?
Face it, Luton. You killed Mundy. You killed Malachite. and you tried to make it look like it was part of the counterweight killings.
Nothing I say is going to convince you of my innocence, is it?
It doesn't look that way.
All right. Yes, I was in Mundy's room when he was killed, but I was unconscious. And yes, I was on the rooftops when Malachite was killed. Again, I was unconscious. I don't know what happened, but somebody knocked me out, and whoever they are, they're the one you should be looking for.
Fine. If that's the way you want it, that's the way you'll get it. Give my regards to Lord Veterinary when your trial comes up. I doubt he'll be as patient with you as I have. The fact is, mister, that with you behind bars, the city will be a slightly better place.
Ooh.
They delivered me into the hands of the palace guards, who delivered me into the walls of a holding cell. I had a bad feeling about the way things were going. Mostly people who were sent to the patrician for trial got seen right away. Rumor had it that being put in a holding cell pending trial was like being filed away in a drawer marked forgotten. And not a very big drawer at that.
Okej. Zgaduję, że nie mam swojego ekwipunku. Dobrze zgaduję. A dzienniczek, czy coś przybyło nam? Tam chyba jakaś notatka się pojawiała. Dobrze mi się zdaje. A no tak. O właśnie.
Malachite had been hacked to death with my crowbar.
Wow. Kolejne morderstwo. Oho. Wszystko pokreślone. Tutaj również. Okej. No dobra. Trzeba się rozejrzeć po tej celi i zobaczymy, do czego to ma prowadzić. Czy po prostu ktoś przyjdzie z nami gadać, czy mamy się stąd wydostać jakimś cudem. Różnie to gry rozgrywają. Co to jest? Aha, jest ściana. Więc można tam coś podrapać. Coś poza ścianą. Drzwi.
The wall to the cell had a nice dank feel to it. I expect it was cell wall of the month in Home and Dungeon.
Coś tam skrzypienie słychać.
The door to the cell was so stereotypical I half expected to look around and find a bearded old man manacled to the wall. I could find nothing out of the ordinary about the wall. The wall to the cell. I expected
To nie
the
jest,
wall to
nie jest chyba podzielone na sekcje. No to tylko tyle możemy zrobić póki co chyba, nie?
I pounded on the door, but no one seemed to care. The door to the I pounded on
Okej. Może jednak trzeba dzienniczka użyć na czymś.
I could find the wall to I expect
Intrygujące.
the door to the cell. I pounded
Nie, to chyba nie jest jakoś
the wall to
podzielone
the s-
na sekcje i nie powinno innych efektów powodować. Tam gdzieś nie przejdziemy. Może faktycznie trzeba jakiegoś dzienniczka użyć na tych naszych notatkach. Okej.
I had to try and waste less time trying to make obvious connections. What had Monday been? They say that the universe is... One of them hit me at that moment because I suddenly realized something that should have been obvious. If Monday was
A, to
hung
chyba już było.
upside down, and if Monday wrote the message, then the message was upside down. Turning it around in my head, I could see that it read 3712V. It wasn't a meaningless word after all. It was a meaningless combination of letters and somehow that seemed...
No dobra, to już mieliśmy, więc nie wiem, czy to ma znaczenie. Nie wiem, czy wykrzyczenie tego do drzwi celi ma znaczenie.
Perhaps I just needed to be patient. The door to the cell was so... The door to the...
Come on. Odklej to.
The cell wouldn't be so bad with some female company. As it was, my only companion was a rat.
Gdzie ten szczur? Czy to może metafora była?
The cell wouldn't be... As it was, my... The murder could have been part of the so-called counterweight killings. Malachi... I didn't think that had anything to do with Malachite's murder. I'd found... The murder could have been part of the so...
Można łączyć te wskazówki, ale na razie niewiele to daje. Które z nich nadają się do połączenia?
I couldn't rule out the possibility of Horst being involved in any murder.
Jasna sprawa.
I wished it was him here with the rats and not me.
Okej. No come on, otwórz to. Okej, co tutaj można jeszcze pokojarzyć? No to na pewno jakoś się łączy.
Was there a connection between the killings and the sword? I had no way of knowing. Horst wanted the sword pretty badly. It must have been worth a fortune.
Znów się zaczął gdzieś wybierać.
There was a good chance that Mundy had hidden the sword somewhere in the Milka's cargo.
No i tyle właściwie, nie?
No priceless artifacts hidden here, I'd wager. No priceless...
Oj. Nie tu, nie tu. Ach, ten interfejs. Bom. Co tutaj może nas jeszcze interesować? Mam nadzieję, że to nie jest żaden dead end i faktycznie stąd się mogę wydostać. Tylko czy mam klikać po prostu po wszystkim? Czy o co chodzi? Na Carlocie nie możemy kliknąć? Ciekawe.
Alkali and Carlotta were There was no connection. There was no connection to Ilsa or to...
Coś tu nie tak się zrobiło chyba. Ach, już nie chcę mi się kręcić w lewo i w prawo w tym dzienniczku, bo to jest strasznie męczące. Czy coś tu możemy wykryć dziwnego? Nie ma strzałki żadnej, tak? Nie przejdziemy do innej części tej celi. Nie mamy naszych dokumentów ważnych. Więc tutaj też niczego nie pokombinujemy. Czy coś tutaj pomijam? Tu jakby migało coś było widać w trakcie uderzenia. Ale to tylko może efekt taki świetny, co?
I pounded on the door to the... The wall to the cell had a... I expected... I could find nothing out of the...
A! Jest coś, czemu wtedy mi się nie namierzało?
The rat had disappeared in a small crack in the wall. The question was, where had he gone? As I worked my fingers around the crack, it became clear that the crack was the side of a loose slab. The block was loose, and I was certain I could move it.
Kolejna
The
znana
other side of
postać.
the wall was another cell, but nothing like the holding cell. This was full of sketches and models, tools and materials. It looked more like a workshop, and there was someone working in it.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thanks.
Are you sure? Or are they not drinking tea outside anymore?
Outside?
The city. I take it you're from the city. How is it? Same as ever, I suppose.
You're Leonard de Quirm.
Yes, I am.
I'd found Leonard de Quirm. The man was almost a legend. There was no disputing that Leonard was a technological genius, but this meant he was as dangerous to the precarious stability of Ankh-Morpork as a compulsive smoker in a firework factory. Rumor had it that the patrician had locked him in a nice airy cell for everyone's safety, because Leonard was the kind of guy who'd light any fuse for the innocent pleasure of seeing what kind of bang he could make. The only other thing I could recall was that although the guy was hot stuff at the nuts and bolts, he was definitely at the bottom of the class when it came to thinking up names. The patrician keeps you imprisoned here,
Sorry?
You're working for the patrician?
Not really. He calls from time to time and has a look at some of my sketches. Nice man. He keeps me abreast of events on the outside.
What's that you're working on?
Ah, This is my flapping wing flying device. I built a small prototype out of gutta-percha strips, twisted tightly together, and it worked. Although not very well. Now I'm building a full-scale model.
Does it fly?
Not yet. But once I've solved the problem of the weight of the holding it together frame and the mechanical faults with the spinning blades radiating from the central hub, it should do. I was having trouble getting enough force to twist the blades together, but the troll the other week sorted that out for me.
Troll?
Yes. He was staying in your room before you. He made this window for me so I could watch the birds. Always good for inspiration are the birds. Not that I don't have enough inspiration as it is. Damn things. Just once I'd like to wake up without finding my sheets covered in sketches of novel designs for apple peelers.
Did you give the troll some metal strips by any chance?
Yes. He made them into a metal hook with prongs, I believe. Not one of my designs.
His name was Malachite.
Was it? It's possible. I never was good with names.
I kolejna postać znana z książek się objawia, czyli Leonardo z Quirmu, Discworldowy odpowiednik, no wiadomo kogo, innego Leonarda. Okej, co tu wypatrzymy ciekawego w jego pracowni?
Covered with wood, wire, paints, drawing materials, sketches, cartoons, and glue. The table was either the product of a highly deranged or a highly arranged mind. There was nothing useful to me on the table. Well, nothing useful that wasn't glued down or that I thought Leonard wouldn't notice missing.
Zaraz sobie pogadamy z Leonardem, ale rzucimy okiem, co tam jeszcze jest w głębi pracowni. Skąd ta dziura?
The gaping hole had been created by Malachite to escape from the palace. Leonard liked to think of it as a window. At that moment, I thought I heard the sound of someone at the door to my cell. My heart leapt to my throat and narrowly missed my tonsils. I had to get back to my cell and fast.
Hello, Luton.
Nobby, what are you doing here?
I've come to let you go.
Does Vimes know you're here?
Yeah, he sent me.
What happened?
There's a witness to Malachite's murder. Saw the whole thing, although not very well. He couldn't identify the killer, but from the description we got from him, we can rule out you.
So, I'm off the hook?
More or less.
Vimes must be livid.
I've seen him happier, but he's still convinced you're involved in this somehow.
I dare say he has a point, actually. But I'm not a cold-blooded killer, whatever he may think. Who was the witness?
A gargoyle up on the roof of the clerk's office on Salis Street.
What did he see?
I'm not supposed to discuss that with you. Come on, let's get you out of here.
You won't get any arguments from me.
Ciekawe, czy wrócimy do Leonarda, czy już skończyliśmy z nim rozmowę. Może warto byłoby coś ciekawego by poopowiadał, no ale trudno.
Here's your stuff.
No, odzyskamy rzeczy.
Where's the crowbar?
We're keeping that as evidence.
Yeah, right. I'll see you around, Nobby. Thanks for coming to get me out. I appreciate it.
That's what friends are for, isn't it?
Friends are for getting you out of a holding cell?
Could be. I ain't got that many.
You won't get any argument from me. See you later. I had this feeling that I was caught in the middle of something big, but I still hadn't a clue what it was. All I could do was keep searching and hope that sooner or later I'd stumble upon the truth. Well, maybe not stumble, just very carefully put my foot on it and hope the other end didn't come up and hit me in the teeth.
Okej, pałac Patrycjusza, więc to była ta wielka budowla. Ciekawe, gdzie możemy tam wrócić, nawiasem mówiąc. Najpierw przejrzę dziennik może. Zobaczę, czy tutaj znowu coś się nie skrada w moim pokoiku. Co tam się mogło pojawić mi? A, być może nic, to nie dziennik chyba, tak. To tylko zapis był na mapie Patrycjusza. No okej, trochę mniej przedmiotów mamy. Ale i nigdy nie narzekaliśmy na ich nadmiar. No dobra. Trzeba będzie przyjrzeć się tej nowej rzeczywistości. A sprawdzimy sobie, czy do Leonarda można wrócić, pogadać z nim jeszcze. I co tam jest do roboty w pałacu, ale ja może pójdę na to miejsce, gdzie zamordowano Malachita. Zobaczymy, czy coś tam znajdziemy. Gargoyla jest, możemy pogadać z nią, czy z nim. Cable. O, znika mi kursor. Obrys taki niezbyt dokładny chyba, no ale okej. Ktoś poza Gablem tu jest? Nie, chyba.
They'd put a chalk outline where Malachite had fallen. It really drove home how big that troll was. I couldn't think of a good reason to erase the chalk outline, other than the giddy thrill of vandalism.
Że w tym deszczu jeszcze się ustało.
The gargoyle's name was Clark's Gable, and he had witnessed what had happened on the roof with me and Malachite. It was probably the first exciting thing to happen to him in decades. Are you the gargoyle that witnessed the troll's murder? Clark's Gable?
That's right.
I don't suppose you could talk a little more clearly.
Thing is, I have a gutter in my mouth. Have you ever tried to speak with a gutter in your mouth?
Have I ever tried to hick with a what?
A gutter. A gutter in your mouth.
Oh, with a gutter in my mouth.
Yes.
Sorry, I guess I haven't given much thought to the orally challenged.
That's okay. We're none of us perfect.
I heard you saw the murder that took place here the other night.
Sure did.
Mind if I ask you some questions about it?
Be my guest.
Okej.
So you're a gargoyle then?
What kind of a conversation opening do you call that, eh?
Don't you get bored being stuck in the same place for so long?
You get used to it. Mating is a bit of a pain.
You must be incredibly patient.
Oh, I've always had plenty of things to think about.
Such as?
Well, like, is it raining? Or doesn't that cloud look like a really big cloud?
Oh, the fun never stops when you're up on the rooftops.
You said it.
Pociągnijmy temat.
How do gargoyles mate?
Very slowly.
You can move, though.
Course. How do you think I got here in the first place,
Then why don't you?
Look, I don't criticise you for running about like your brain would stop if your body stopped moving. So don't criticise me and my lifestyle, eh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cause any offense.
That's okay. We're none of us perfect.
Can you tell me what you saw the other night?
When the troll was killed, eh?
Has anything else interesting happened recently?
Well, I got a pigeon yesterday. That's a rarity. Mostly they steer clear of the rooftops that are colonised by gargoyles.
Putting that to one side, what did you see the other night?
Well, I can only tell you what I told the watch. I saw you and the big troll come up the ladder, only once you were on the roof, it was hard to make out what was going on because of the shadows. But I saw the troll get savaged repeatedly by some kind of creature, some kind of beast.
A beast?
Yeah, that's the best description I can give you.
It's not much help, but thanks all the same.
What for?
For getting me out of jail.
No problem. Glad I could help. If you could toss the odd pigeon up here next time you're passing, I'd be grateful, yeah.
Okej. Jakieś bestie mordujące troli. Czy jeszcze o coś możemy zapytać ciekawego?
You can see the Magdalen Bridge from here, can't you?
Sure.
I don't suppose you saw a carriage drive off the bridge the other night.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
What happened?
Let me see. I remember the carriage coming flying along the bridge. The driver was a dwarf, I think, and he went into convulsions just before the carriage went out of control. The next thing I know, there's someone coming out at the back of the carriage.
What did they look like?
My eyesight's not that good. Yeah. All I know is that as the driver went limp, the other person cut the reins. The horse ran off, the carriage careened into the river, and this other person leapt clear.
That's all you saw?
That's about it, eh?
Okej. No dobrze, mamy jakiś ciekawy opis. Trzeba popytać, skoro już mamy postać i możemy porozmawiać z kimś, z kim nie gadaliśmy dotąd. No to spróbujmy się zorientować.
Does
Strzał na ślepo.
3712V mean anything to you?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Podejrzewam, że Mandiego nie kojarzy.
Can you think of any reason that Mundy might have been hung upside down before he was killed?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Raczej możemy go wypytywać o to, co mógł widzieć tutaj z tych dachów. Wątpię. Nie sądzę, żeby coś tutaj możemy
Out
strzelić.
of curiosity, I checked with the gargoyle to see if Ilsa or two conkers had been up the
Właśnie.
roof. It didn't seem like they had. I gave Carlotta's description to Clark's Gable, but he didn't recognize it. Couldn't help but wonder if Al Khali had been up on the rooftops, but the gargoyle didn't recognize his description.
To o niczym nie świadczy, ale niech będzie.
Do you know anything about the counterweight killings?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Jak wiadomo, zabójcy lubią po dachach krążyć, zwłaszcza tacy z kontynentu przeciwwagi.
Clark's Gable had told me that whatever killed Malachite was some kind of beast. He wasn't clear on the details. Is there anything more you can tell me about this bestial attacker?
nothing springs to mind.
Okej.
As a long shot, I asked if Clark's gate not
Tak, Horsta na pewno tu na dachu nie było, chociaż no, troll jak wiadomo jest w stanie się wdrapać. Może coś o Milce, czy coś wypatrzeć mógł? Wątpię,
Do you know
ale...
anything about the Milka's cargo?
Sorry.
Czy bestia miała złoty miecz?
I didn't want to discuss the golden sword.
Okej. No dobrze, ale coś się dowiedzieliśmy, coś wiemy.
I had a feeling that the envelope wasn't. Does this charm bracelet mean anything to you?
Nie.
Sorry.
I had a.
Dobrze.
Do you
I
mind
tak
if I
dużo
come back
pomogłeś.
if I have any more questions?
I'm not going anywhere.
O. Przezabawne. No dobrze, jeszcze sprawdźmy, czy z Leonardem możemy się zobaczyć, a potem chyba poniesiemy do innych osób tę nowinę o strasznej bestii, chyba że tu jakieś ślady znajdą jeszcze, ale... Mogę spróbować tych notatek moich jeszcze trochę używać. Rzadko to wykorzystuję, ale... Gdzie to było? O, na przykład coś takiego. Pyk.
Gable had given me a description of the killer. Now all I had to do was puzzle it out.
Albo... nie odchodź. Albo... Jeszcze co? No, klik.
So this is the murder I'd been accused of. It couldn't have been me, could it?
No, nie wiem. No dobrze. Tu chyba się niczego więcej nie dowiem. Na to wygląda. To sprawdźmy jeszcze, co ten pałac nam oferuje. O, okej, strażnicy. Hej, czasami co w jedynce chyba. Gaz. Wtedy jakiś dobry sposób Rincewind miał, żeby ich wkurzać.
Two of the palace guards, ever vigilant for a potential intruder. Something like that, anyway. Two of the... something... Shouldn't you have stopped me by now?
What?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm practically into the palace itself, and you haven't even asked who I am.
We can already tell you aren't important.
Not important? I might be a foreign spy.
Accent's too clean for that. I'd say you were born here in Ankh-Morpork.
How can you tell?
Accents. He knows them all.
Ah, hidden talents, eh?
We're guards. All our talents are hidden.
No dobrze, pomówmy zatem.
So, you're members of the illustrious palace guards, are you?
Illustrious. Do you know what it means to be a palace guard? We're arrow fodder. If anyone with half decent skills breaks into the palace, you'll be picking our limbs out of the tapestries.
So why do you do it?
It beats being in the city watch.
And the uniforms are much nicer, too. You used to be in the City Watch, didn't you?
You can tell that from my accent.
Would I lie to you?
So, you're an expert on accents.
Oh, yeah. I can tell all sorts of things about you.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
From the stress in your voice, I'd say you experienced a major emotional event about 8 years ago. You like to drink, but if you're not careful, you drink to excess. And you like whiskey.
That really is incredible. Anything else?
That's about it.
You didn't say which part of the city I was born in.
No, that's trickier.
You can tell that I drink whiskey from my accent, but you can't tell which part of the city I was born in.
Well, it comes and goes.
You don't know anything about accents, do you?
Of course he doesn't. He just has a good memory.
You were in the bucket a couple of years ago. You were probably too drunk to remember it.
A couple of years ago, I was too drunk to remember anything. So if you don't know anything about accents, how do you know I'm not a threat to the palace?
If you knew what it was we were guarding, you'd understand.
What is it you're guarding?
Every way into and out of the palace has to be guarded, and we guard one of those.
That's a little vague.
We guard the vital export of post-palatial merchandise.
We guard the trash heap.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
Where is it?
The trash heap? It's around the corner.
But don't steal anything. That's palace garbage. By royal appointment.
Well, by the patrician's appointment.
That's good enough for me.
Is it really that dangerous working for the palace?
Oh, yeah. Our lives could come to a bloody end at any moment.
He's lying, of course. He's always lying. No enemies have ever entered Ankh-Morpork since it was founded.
What about the dwarf attack in the reign of Veltric II? Or the barbarian invasion in the time of Webblethorpe the Unconscious?
Well, of course, technically, we've been invaded quite frequently, but, you know how it is. The guys arrive, they meet a nice local girl, and anyway, their leaders suddenly don't want all the big houses burned down because now they own them, and they find sleeping on real beds is a treat after all that time in the saddle. And what with one thing and another, it all ends peacefully.
In other words, you don't have much to do.
Well, there's a lot of standing around to do. But it's not like the golden age of the kings of Ankh.
The Golden Age?
Well, it was a time long enough ago that no one can remember how wretched it was.
Do you know a lot about the kings of Ankh?
Oh, sure. The whole history of the monarchy.
How come?
Oh, hanging around palaces. You pick up that kind of thing.
What happened to the kings of Ankh?
Well, the real line came to an end about 2,000 years ago. And after that, we got 17 centuries of a monarchy where the crown was available to anyone with enough soldiers and a strong stomach.
That couldn't have been very stable.
Stable? Ha! Not many lines survived more than 2 or 3 generations. Some of them didn't even make it to the end of the coronation feast.
The shortest reign on record was that of Loyola the Arg at 1.13 seconds.
Can't have been much of a monarch.
That's nothing. For a week, Ankh-Morpork was technically ruled by a wasp. And for several days, by the left foot of the high priest of Io, who dropped the crown on it during the crucial point of the ceremony.
The foot was one of the better rulers, apparently. Made good decisions.
Okej, to takie smaczki dla miłośników świata. Nie wiem, czy one naprowadzają nas na cokolwiek, jeśli chodzi o nasze śledztwa. No, patrzę, że godzina minęła, więc może jeszcze 1-2 pytania zadam im i będę kończył dzisiejszy stream. Być może jutro uda się pociągnąć to dalej. Może pociągniemy tego Malachita sprawę.
What do you know about the murder of Mount Malachite?
We don't know nothing about any murders, all right?
Dobrze, o to nie będę was pytał. Może dokręcę się czegoś jeszcze, no, przewijaj te strony.
Do you know anything about some kind of beast stalking the streets?
I can't help you with that, son.
Okej, taka wymijająca odpowiedź. No, chyba za wiele tutaj nie mamy tematów, które moglibyśmy poruszyć. Przecież o złote miecze będę tutaj pytał ich, więc to raczej nie ma sensu.
Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst?
I don't know him.
Me neither.
Okej.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
I don't know him.
Me neither.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I don't know him.
Me neither.
Wątpię, by cokolwiek wiedzieli.
Does 3712V mean anything to you?
I can't help you with that, son.
No dobra, nie to nie.
See you around.
If you say so.
Do środka chyba nie wejdziemy w żaden sposób. Ale tu możemy gdzieś w bok pójść. Okej. Ciekawe, czy coś tu wypatrzymy. W sumie. No ale dobra, tak jak mówiłem, zróbmy tu save. Pałac, nazwiemy to. I będziemy testować kolejnym razem. Zobaczymy, co tam się uda znaleźć. Czy coś wypatrzymy, wynajdziemy, albo wrócimy gadać z innymi postaciami. Ciekawe, no do tego Leonarda. Jeżeli nie możemy wrócić, to trochę szkoda, bo może też miałby parę zabawnych kwestii do wypowiedzenia. Ale to zobaczymy. Może gdzieś tutaj jednak jakaś ścieżka prowadzi do niego. Na dziś to tyle. Myślę, że mogę już przerwać. Zatem do zobaczenia, do usłyszenia. Hej!